Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you here with another bathroom review of Survivor Series War Games 2024. Had to stick out that one all the way to the end until he took the final picture of CM Punk and the Bloodline because, hey, I don't know who's a hot free agent out there on the market, but we all remember what happened last year. When CM Punk came out at the end of the War Games match, we all saw like that. I thought it was going to be like a documentary, but it was just like two clips of Punk making his debut, return, whatever you want to call it, at last year's thing. I really thought it was going to be more of a documentary. I think when I started the video and it was only about less than 20 minutes long, we should have known what was going down, but it was pretty cool to see the backstage footage. I didn't need to see the footage of the pay-per-view is what they ended it on again. But I'll tell you the truth. Look forward to this show. I like the fact that it started at 3 o'clock Pacific time. Watched the whole show beginning to end. Never felt lost. A few times felt like I was a little bored. It was a good show. I mean, honestly, it was a really, really good show. It was like watching an old Monday Night Raw. Yeah, it had two War Games matches, the women to kick it off and the men to end it. But nothing really on the line. Nakamura won the United States Championship from LA Knight. Not really a big deal to me. His new look, he looks more like a cowboy, I think, honestly, than like a Japanese warrior from New Japan Pro Wrestling that I was used to when he first, made his move over in, what was that, like 2016, 2017 when he came over. The fact that he's still here, has not been a World Heavyweight Champion, has not been a WWE Champion, I really don't get it. They should have struck while the iron was hot when he won the Rumble. I believe I was like in 2017. It is what it is. Oh, I guess we should really kick it off with what that women's match was. But the women's War Games, the cash-in attempt that it almost was, that was kind of a highlight of that match to me. How the heel women team of a team that all hated each other. That was the story of mine. I liked that Tiffany had the Money in the Bank. She found a way to get it inside of the cage. I thought she would have an inner entrance, but when I saw her backstage, walking around not having it, I thought it was pretty weird. But I was holding hope that we were going to see it. And the fact that if she could have cashed in and started a match before the actual match started, I thought that was pretty cool. Braun Breaker keeping his Intercontinental title, that was cool. And then, of course, Finn Balor stomping Priest to the fact that, Gunther got the win, keeping the World Heavyweight Championship, keeps that feud alive between the Judgment Day and whatever Priest is doing these days. I don't know. Finn Balor is a guy that I honestly thought was going to be like the best thing in wrestling when he first came over. Yeah, he won the championship at SummerSlam when he debuted on the main roster, but has never really won the big one since. It seems like he just sort of got pushed down the card. I really want him to get a run, and the fact that he's even involved in a World Heavyweight Championship match, I'll take it. That was awesome. Big story of the War Games match. Bloodline versus OG Bloodline was, more than anything else, Punk versus Roman. I don't know when we're going to see it, but the whole story of that War Games match to me was a lot like Royal Rumble 1990 and Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan crossing paths. It's coming. It's coming sooner than later. I wouldn't be surprised because you got to be thinking everybody wants to be gunning for Cody. Come WrestleMania. I mean, if you're not gunning for Cody, you're going to be gunning for whoever the World Heavyweight Champion is. I would guess it's not going to be Gunther. I mean, the odds are in the fact that Gunther's not going to hold it all the way till then. But I'm not saying that he shouldn't be at WrestleMania, but the fact is somebody's going to have to beat somebody. And I think Cody's going to be holding the belt all the way until then. But regardless, Roman, if he wins a Rumble, he's going for Cody. Punk's going for Cody. That's just the level of where they are on the card. So I wouldn't be surprised if this feud, they keep just sort of looking at each other. Although, I will say right off the bat, at the end of the match, Punk opened the ropes for Jay to go from one ring to the other ring. Then they walked right to the entrance. The camera stayed on them, and Punk kind of let Jay have first go at the exit. And I thought I saw in Punk's eyes that he couldn't believe that Jay wouldn't hold the ropes open for him. Honestly, I want to believe that Punk is a good guy, but everything in that match, besides for when he saved Roman, when Bronson was coming off the top, kind of made him look like a bad guy. Kind of looked like he really didn't want to be there. Maybe he just didn't want to be involved in the whole Bloodline mess. But Heyman came to him. Heyman is somebody that, helped him in his career, and he believes he owes Heyman something, even though he's asking for a favor in return. I don't know what that's going to be. If, Punk wants Brock to come back, if Punk is going to ask for his favor to have a match with Roman Reigns. I just can't think of why Punk would want a team with Roman, or why Punk needs the Bloodline. It's like Punk's going to be going out there. But at one point, I was thinking we were going to see the birth of the new Nexus when Punk was, celebrating the win with the Usos and Sami Zayn, and Roman wasn't involved. Roman was kind of looking at disgust, like, this guy's trying to steal my group. This guy's trying to steal my friends. And I was like, man, maybe we can get the new Nexus going in 2025. That was a hell of a run in 2011. It never really got to where I thought it was going to be. It definitely wasn't as good as the original Nexus, even though Punk was involved. But, you hold on to things that you care about, like the NWO. Punk wants to start a group up with the new Nexus. I'm all in. I think that would be awesome. But overall, not a great night. Nothing really big happened, but, not every show is going to be a huge show. I think the fans that were there in Vancouver got to see 2 WarGames matches. I'm sure they're going to go home, but they got their money's worth. I would love to see a WarGames match. That's something, honestly, in my history of seeing wrestling matches. I've been to WrestleMania. I've been to SummerSlam. I've been to, Royal Rumbles. I don't think I've never been to a Survivor Series. I've never seen a WarGames. The only Money in the Bank I saw was at WrestleMania 26 at WrestleMania, not like an actual Money in the Bank show. I've never seen in Vegas, they do Raw Roulette. That is something, honestly, if they brought it back and they gave me enough time, I would love to see an episode of Raw Roulette, no matter what's really going down on that show. Spin the wheel, make a deal. I know they do that for NXT now. But that would be an awesome show, even though they spin the wheel on the NXT show and not on the actual pay-per-view. We all know that things are rigged anyways, but I would still love to see it. But, so it keeps you sort of things out there. I'm going to this year's WrestleMania thinking that it's going to be my last WrestleMania trip. I don't want it to be my last wrestling show, but, we'll see. Like I said, I didn't think that this WarGames was great. It was good. Definitely, we're going to be seeing something between Punk and Roman in the foreseeable future, with Roman not letting Punk out of the cage, Punk cutting Roman off so he can go out of the cage. Then in the match, it really looked like Roman speared him on purpose. I mean, obviously, he speared him on purpose, but just the angle that he took for that spear really made it look like he was aiming for him. But then Punk saves Roman from Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed, my new dude in WWE. The one guy that I'm really, really rooting for. Solo, they say he's still got the Ulafala. I don't know how that thing changes hands, if it's like the $1 million title back in the day. But Roman just pinned him. He should be taking that Ulafala from him. I don't really know what the rules is. Solo never really beat anybody to take it. I guess they just sort of took that, like when the $1 Million Man stole the when Jake the Snake Roberts stole the $1 million title and then they had to get Boss Man to try to give it back. I know that they weren't really calling Boss Man the $1 million champ at the time, but he was walking around with the title. So I don't know if that's sort of like what they're doing to Ulafala right now, but, I think the Tribal Chief, until I guess maybe until they do a one-on-one match, but, Team Roman just won this one. So, hey, WarGames 2024 in the books. Royal Rumble. I'm not sure if they're doing a December show or not, but Royal Rumble, Indianapolis, closer than you think, and then we're knocking on the door for WrestleMania, boys. Let's get it.